You're in a job interview. Going well. Qualifications match, experience is solid, salary range works. Then comes the question. So, what are you passionate about? And how does that passion align with this role? You pause. You need this job. The rent is due, you applied because it pays well and you're qualified. That's it. That's the whole story. But you can't say that. So you dig deep, find something, anything. I'm deeply passionate about optimizing supply chain logistics. You've never once thought about supply chain logistics outside of work hours, but you said it with conviction. And now you have to maintain eye contact while the interviewer nods enthusiastically. That's great. We really want people here who are passionate about what we do. You got the job. You are not passionate about supply chain logistics. You are passionate about paying your mortgage, but nobody's allowed to say that out loud anymore. So how did we get here? That's what this channel breaks down. Hit subscribe. How did I need a job that pays well turn into something you have to hide behind a performance of passion just to get hired? Let's go back to how jobs worked for most of human history. You worked to survive, to provide for your family, to afford a life outside of work. The job was a means to an end, not an identity, not a calling, not a purpose. Your grandfather didn't love the factory. He didn't feel called to tighten bolts on an assembly line. He went because it paid enough to own a home and raise a family. He punched out at 5 p.m. and that was it. Work stayed at work. And nobody thought that was sad. That was just life. Honest. Normal. Then something shifted in the 1990s and accelerated hard in the 2000s. Companies started borrowing language from religion and therapy. They started talking about mission and purpose and calling. Work wasn't just work anymore. Work was meaning. Apple told you to think different. Google told you the workplace could change the world. Startups told you they were building something that mattered, something important, something worth dedicating your life to. And the message was seductive. Who doesn't want their work to mean something? But here's what they were actually doing. Reframing your job as a personal mission. So you'd work harder, longer, and for less money without complaining. Passion became a productivity hack, and you didn't notice. The tech industry started it. Silicon Valley created this mythology of work as vocation. The founder who sleeps at the office because he believes so deeply in the mission. The engineer who codes through the weekend, not because she has to, but because she loves it. And the money flowed to these companies. The culture got written up in magazines. Business schools started teaching it. Corporate America looked at tech and thought, we need some of that. Every company suddenly had a mission statement, not just legal boilerplate, an inspirational declaration about why they existed and why it mattered. We're not just selling insurance, we're protecting families. We're not just processing payroll, we're empowering businesses. We're not just making spreadsheet software, we're enabling human potential. No, you're selling insurance, processing payroll, making spreadsheet software. But the mission statement made it sound cosmic, made it easier to ask employees to care. The job posting language changed. This is where it got personal. Used to be job ads described the role, duties, required skills, salary range, practical information for a practical decision. Now every job posting reads like a cult recruitment flyer. We're looking for a passionate self-starter who thrives in a fast-paced environment and is excited to disrupt the industry. Must be a visionary thinker who bleeds purple. Actual quote from an actual job posting. We want people who don't see this as a job, but as a mission. You're applying for an accounts payable position. Nobody bleeds accounts payable. Nobody wakes up at 3 a.m. with a vision about invoice processing. But you have to pretend, because the job posting demanded passion and the interview will test for it. And if you've ever had to perform passion for a job you just needed for the money, hit that like button. It tells me you've played this game. The exhausting performance of pretending work is your deepest calling. The interview process weaponized it. Passion became a screening mechanism. Culture fit, culture add? Alignment with company values. These all mean the same thing. Do you seem passionate enough? Not skilled enough, not qualified enough, passionate enough. Interviewers are trained to spot genuine enthusiasm, like they can tell the difference. Like someone's ability to convincingly perform passion is a reliable indicator of job performance. It's not. It's a class filter. Who performs passion best? People with time to research the company extensively. People who know how to code switch in professional settings. People who weren't raised to see work as transactional because they had to be. People who can afford to care about meaning because their survival isn't at stake. First-generation workers who need this job to support their family, they struggle with the passion performance because they're being honest. Work is how they survive. That's not a flaw, that's reality. The passion requirement quietly screens out people who actually need the job the most. Then came the salary negotiation trap. Passion was used against workers. We're offering below market rate, but we think you'll find the mission compensates for that. The mission won't pay your rent. But if you're passionate, you shouldn't care about money, right? Money is for people who don't believe in the work. Saying, "I need to be paid fairly," became evidence that you're not truly passionate. And if you're not passionate, maybe you're not the right fit. It's elegant manipulation. Companies underpay workers and frame accepting it as proof of commitment. The startup world perfected this. Equity instead of salary. You'll earn less now, but we're building something that matters. The equity is worthless 90% of the time. The passion was real though. You just directed it at someone else's company for below market wages. Work-life balance became suspicious. If you're truly passionate, why would you want to stop working? We work hard and play hard here. Translation, we work all the time. Our team is super passionate, so we often go above and beyond. Translation, overtime is expected and unpaid. Leaving at 5 p.m. became a statement. "Oh, leaving already?" Said with just enough of a tone to make you feel guilty, to make you question your commitment, your passion. The passionate employee stays late, responds to emails on weekends, takes calls on vacation, not because they have to, because they love it. Because passion doesn't have an off switch. Except it does. It has to. Humans aren't built for perpetual work, but the mythology of passion says otherwise. Burnout got rebranded. If passion leads to exhaustion, you weren't truly passionate. You were performing passion, but not feeling it. The logic is circular and cruel. Burnout from working too hard? That's evidence you were faking the passion. Real passion would sustain you. Real passion doesn't deplete. Real passion refuels you. So the burned out worker isn't a victim of an exploitative system. They're someone who lied in their interview, who couldn't find meaning in their work, who wasn't truly called to this mission. The problem is you, never the system. Social media made it public. LinkedIn became the platform of weaponized passion. Every post is someone performing how much they love their work. So grateful to announce that after 16-hour days and complete sacrifice of my personal life, we hit our targets. This is why I do it. Nothing beats the grind when you believe in the mission. You can't post, "I did my job adequately and went home at a reasonable hour." That's career suicide on LinkedIn. You have to perform, show the passion, document the sacrifice, signal your commitment publicly. And the likes roll in. And your boss sees it. And suddenly passion is not just a private feeling, but a public performance with professional stakes. Younger workers got hit hardest. Gen Z and millennials were raised being told to do what you love, follow your passion, find work that doesn't feel like work. Beautiful advice, genuinely well-intentioned, completely disconnected from economic reality. You were told to find your passion and monetize it. So you spent years trying to turn hobbies into careers, fighting for jobs in passionate industries, arts, media, nonprofits, education, that pay terribly because passion is supposed to compensate. Supply chains flooded with passionate applicants. Wages stayed low because passion subsidized employers. We can pay less because people love this work. The industries that help people, that make art, that educate children, those are all underpaid, because passion absorbs the cost that wages should cover. The ones who figured out the game worked backwards, picked high-paying careers, finance, engineering, tech, developed competence and found meaning in being good at something and well compensated for it. Then performed passion in interviews, got hired, got paid, went home at 5 p.m. with no guilt. That's the actual life hack, but nobody tells you that. And here's the uncomfortable truth underneath all of this. Companies don't actually want your passion. They want your compliance dressed up as passion. A truly passionate employee asks hard questions, challenges bad decisions, pushes back when the mission isn't being served, demands accountability. Companies don't want that. They want someone who works long hours without complaining and feels personally invested in outcomes, so they don't need to be managed closely. They want your emotional energy, not your professional opinion. Real passion is inconvenient. Manufactured passion is profitable. So how do we get here? Companies borrowed religious language about calling and mission to make work feel meaningful. Silicon Valley mythology created the passionate founder template everyone copied. Job postings demanded passion as a screening mechanism. The interview process rewarded performance over skill. Passion was used to justify below-market salaries. Staying late became proof of commitment. Burnout got framed as personal failure. Social media made passion performance public and professional. A generation was told to follow their passion and discovered it made them poor. And companies got free overtime, reduced wages, and increased loyalty by convincing workers that caring too much about compensation meant they didn't really believe in the mission. You were never supposed to be passionate about your job. You were supposed to be good at it, and paid fairly for it. Those are two completely different things, and somewhere along the way, one of them got forgotten. Maybe the real question isn't how we got here, it's whether we can go back to being allowed to just be good at what we do without having to pretend we do it for free. If you've ever performed passion in an interview for a job you just needed to pay your bills, hit that subscribe and like button. We're exposing every lie the modern workplace told you about what you owe your employer. And the passion myth might be the most expensive one yet.